Residency.
This is XFM. Good evening, it's Damon Albarn again. Second week trying this DJ lark here on XFM, and the first track I'm going to play for you is from a band that I think had an enormous influence on me years ago, which was Magazine, and this is from a live album they put out called Play, and one of my favourite tunes on it, Model Worker. I mean, when you listen to this, you can just imagine what a great live band they were, and just the sort of lyrically, DeVito was very, very odd, but it sort of seemed to work, and I just sort of made really good connections at the time in my head. So hopefully you enjoy it. It's Model Worker on XFM.
Ostentatious display, doing little more than eat 3 square meals a day.
The XFM Residency with Damon Albarn. This is XFM.
The Residency.
Go shop, get it. Deep high captains in it, steady, watch me navigate.
The XFM Residency with Damon Albarn. Right, next up, a track from a new record by Bassekou Kouyate, who's a Ngoni player from Mali, who had the privilege to hear playing in his front room in Bamako. Last time I was there with musicians, a few journalists, and radio presenters, people who were just sort of interested in coming down to Africa and actually sort of getting a taste of what it's really like, and not sort of relying on what you see on the television and what you read in the papers about the place. Because sometimes, you know, there is a tendency to create a real sense of doom and gloom about Africa. And although there's a lot of problems, obviously, due to climate and politics, the place itself is without a doubt the most inspiring continent on the planet. And every time I go there, I always come back thinking, you know, in a way I wish where I lived was a little more like that. Anyway, that's kind of not what I'm here to talk about. I'm here to talk about music. So this is a track from his new record called Segu Blue, and it sounds like he sounded in his front room, really, you know, really laid back and beautiful. Is XFM.
The Residency.
Ulusombe basipi, tubabude unsombe basipi, Amerika unsombe basipi, Farafine unsombe basipi, Amisa basipu, Musafa sipu, Yakare sipu.
XFM. That was Bassekou Kouyate on XFM, and it sounds like he was playing in his front room, which was where I heard him last, and also the next person I'm going to play was there in that room, although his music is obviously completely different. I think he was well, you'd have to find out from him what he thought, but I think he really enjoyed himself, and I think it had quite a profound effect on him. Anyway, this is Jamie T, and this is his new single called Sheila.
Sheila goes out with her mate Stella. It gets poured all over her fella, 'cause she says man he ain't no better than the next man kicking up fuss. Drunk, she stumbles down by a river. Screams calling London. None of us heard her coming. I guess the carpet weren't rolled out.
The Residency.
XFM. Okay, so you just heard something. Well, actually, a record that I sort of am out playing at the moment. The Good, the Bad, and the Queen. And right, I'm going to play some Moondog now. This is a visionary musician, someone who spent years living on the streets, was blind. It's playing music really to my ear that sounds like 30 years ahead of its time. It's really something you should check out. This is a track called Why Spend the Dark Night With You, and it's a sort of, it's kind of almost a cappella, but it's just, I mean, every single Moondog track I find makes me want to kind of switch off the CD player and find a guitar or play on the piano. It's just brilliant stuff. Anyway, hope you enjoy it. The XFM Residency with Damon Albarn. This is XFM.
The Residency.
Okay, that was Moondog on XFM, the mystical Moondog. And now I'm going to play a bit of reggae, some real organic stuff, you know, none of this artificial stuff grown in a greenhouse. This is the Congos and a track called Fisherman, just sublime reggae. Is XFM. XFM. Okay, right, so that was the Congos. And now I'm going to play something from one of the musicals of a great British songwriter, Lionel Bart. And yeah, Oliver. I mean, I loved Oliver when I was a kid. I could choose any one of these tunes, really. I think actually I'm going to choose Who Will Buy, which is actually a tune that Oliver sings. And I'm going to choose that because I think that was the first thing I ever sang at primary school in Leytonstone. So just as a bit of pure nostalgia, here's Who Will Buy from the musical Oliver. The XFM Residency with Damon Albarn. Okay, right. Something from Glen Campbell. I love this man's voice. And I don't know. I mean, he didn't always write his own songs, and but as an interpreter of other people's songs, he was just incredible. I mean, for me, much better than Elvis, and really up there with Scott Walker. So the tune I'm going to choose is By the Time I Get to Phoenix, which is a 67 recording. And I just love the way that throughout the song he just gets further and further away from the thing he's singing about. It's just brilliant idea.
By the time I get to Phoenix, she'll be rising. She'll find the note I left hanging.
The XFM Residency with Damon Albarn. This is XFM.
The Residency.
I still remember you. I still remember you.
XFM. Hi, it's Damon Albarn. And now, as I promised earlier, I'm going to play something to finish tonight's show. It's from an album of Tibetan sacred temple music, and this particular meditation is called Invoking the Spirit of Kindness Through Sound, which I thought was appropriate for a radio show. Good night.
This is XFM.